Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to a new Breakout Solutions live stream. I'm your host, Matt Batiri, here with you today with another Bitcoin technical analysis video. Now, for those of you watching here in Australia, happy long weekend. I hope you enjoyed the two finals of our two major sports and you enjoyed time with family, had a few drinks. But what I'm about to present to you today is the amazing price action that we will possibly see with Bitcoin this October. And we all know once Bitcoin does start moving, the altcoins will follow. So let's dive into a couple of statistics that I would like to show you guys before we get started. So we can see that in October, and every single October in the past, whilst Bitcoin has been around, we've only had two negative years. We had 2018 and 2014. Apart from that, every single other October month has been a green month. So we've had positive price action. But what I want to point out today is the price action that we're possibly going to be looking at, because this year is the year before the bull market is supposed to be starting. We know that the halving is around about April next year, where the Bitcoin mining rewards is halved, therefore creating a little bit of supply and demand shock to the Bitcoin price. That normally is the catalyst for the bull market that we tend to have a few months after that event. So the last bull market commenced in 2020. So I want to look at 2019. So in 2019, we had a 10.17 return for Bitcoin in that year. So what I'd like to point out is the previous bull market as well. So in 2016, which was the year before the 27 bull market, so 2016 right here, we had a 14.71% return. The other returns were during the bull market. So I want to sort of just focus on the pre-halving year and what returns we were able to generate from those months. So we can see that this year it is 2023. We're currently 4%. So if we take a bit of an average between the 10% and the 14%, so let's say roughly 12%, it looks like Bitcoin could move up another, 8% this month. So without further ado, let's dive into the charts and let's have a look at what, a 12% Bitcoin could be for this month. So the new month did start a couple of days ago. So we're going to go off this week. So if we go up by 12%, that brings us back up to the equal highs that we did have a few months ago. And this would play in perfectly for a head and shoulders pattern. If we are to have this head and shoulders pattern and it is to come to fruition, what we need to do is we need to mark out the neckline of the head and shoulders. We can then measure the length from the head to the neckline like so. And then we tend to grab this and then place it at the breakdown point. It doesn't matter where it is, but we could possibly see a $20,000 Bitcoin in the future after we have this positive price action in October. So that's obviously one scenario that can play out. Another scenario that I have played out in the past is the Fibonacci retracement and getting to the golden pocket, because Bitcoin has previously done that in the previous bull markets. We've either achieved during the bear market rally a price action up to the golden pocket or the 786. I'll just double check that this Fibonacci is on log scale. Yep. And I'll just double check that I'm on log scale. Fantastic. Yeah. So what we can sort of take out of this is more than likely Bitcoin is going to come up to the previous highs around that $31,000 to $31,500. Then there's going to be some decisions to be made with the bulls against the bears in regards to, are we going to continue this price action and come up to the golden pocket before rolling over, or do we just roll over here, form this head and shoulders and come down to that $20,000 zone? If that $20,000 zone it does get achieved, let's say we don't break the highs of 31,700 that we did achieve back in July, we can see that the $20,000 level also does line up with the golden pocket. So not only do we have the head and shoulders pattern breaking out, we will also have confluence with the golden pocket, which would be obviously an amazing buy opportunity and probably the last opportunity that you can buy Bitcoin in the low 20s. I had a lot of friends. I spent the weekend actually in Sydney. I live on the Gold Coast in Australia. And a lot of them were asking me, if now is a good time to buy Bitcoin. I said, look, because you guys aren't traders, the best thing to do is obviously dollar cost average. And if you're unsure what dollar cost averaging is, that's where you select a time frame that you would like to purchase any crypto regularly, and your payments towards and that investment are always the same. So let's just say every Monday you want to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, no matter what the price is. That's a great way to look at it. People like myself that think about it too technically and maybe are hoping for $20,000, they may lose that opportunity if we don't come back down to these levels. So that's why as a retail investor, it's always important that you do dollar cost average, because we just don't know where the bulls and the bears are going to be taking that price, because these market makers, they're always going to go against retail psychology. So a lot of people over the last couple of weeks were probably thinking we're going to break down. And of course, the whales decided to take the price to the upside. Now that we are moving to the upside, a lot of people are going to start foaming the prices that I just mentioned, and possibly, make some errors there for providing liquidity to the bears to complete the head and shoulders and bring this down to 20,000. So in my personal opinion, right now, it looks like we are definitely going to have more upside. We're more than likely going to come up to the high 30s at some point over the next month or so, or completing the October green month. That is just going to bring us to how many months? That'll be, it'll be 9 out of 11 years, which is a pretty good hit rate. So 9 out of 11 years, Bitcoin has had a positive month in October. Now, we've already stayed positive. Of course, Bitcoin could go sideways from here, but I think from what I can see in my charts and the indicators that I do use, it looks like we're probably going to get some further upside. We can see the stochastic RSI and the weekly moving averages, they are pointing to the upside. I was expecting a possible double bottom. Okay, I did speak about this in one of my most recent videos, because we did have examples of double bottoms occurring multiple times in the stochastic RSI, dating all the way back to at least 2020. This is just the Bybit chart. Of course, I could use the BLX chart that I was on before, which shows the complete price history of Bitcoin, but I'm just showing you examples, recent examples of the weekly stochastic RSI forming this double bottom. Now, of course, the double bottom could still occur. We could come up to the 50% stochastic line, which tends to serve as a bit of resistance as well, and then form that double bottom like so. But right now, from what I can see, utilizing Market Cipher, which is this indicator right here that I'm just going to expand, we can see the money flow on Market Cipher coming out of the red money flow. Let me complete this, into the green. And whenever we do see money flow cross from red to green on Market Cipher on the daily, we tend to see some positive price action. This was the last time. This is going to be here in a couple of days. Here was the time before that. I'm just going to mark out a few times so you guys can see what the price action was doing when we did cross from red to green. All right, so if we just zoom out, we can see when we bottomed out here back in January, this is when the red money flow turned to green on Market Cipher B, and we had huge price action all the way from 16,700 to the 31,700, which was the local top. The next time was here in March. Obviously, we had a dump, and then we crossed over and we had some positive price action, which moved the price up 8%, which wasn't too bad. The next time was back here. The price moved up 6%. And then the most recent time here, the price went up 3%. So right now, we have not yet had the red money flow cross the green, and we've already started having positive price action. So it just means that this move could be quite explosive. I would say that with the price action that we did have here, we had a lot of shorts liquidated, which caused this huge $1,000 pump this morning, very early, which is very random as well, because this occurred in Australian time, and all the Americans were sleeping, and the Americans are usually the ones that are market movers. But what we've done now is we've created basically a huge single print. So this entire area here, as I'm going to draw out in a second with a rectangle, this area right here is now what's called a single print, or an area where there's going to be a lot of liquidity, and price action is more than likely going to come back down here. The Americans were sleeping. They move, so it's very likely, and it always occurs, that price action does need to revisit this zone, because the Americans, obviously, who do have a bigger influence on moving the markets, especially the crypto market, they missed out on this move. So they're going to be like wanting to bring the price back before more than likely bring it to the upside. So one area that I'd probably be looking at if you did miss this move, we could just draw a Fibonacci from the start of the move that we had early this morning to the peak that we received today. And we have a golden pocket around here at 27,500. But more interestingly, we have the 786, which lines up with the top of this trading range that we were in for a couple of days. So you can see that it's for me, I'm interested in possibly longing the market down at this price or buying Bitcoin for those of you that don't do any leverage trading. But these two areas of interest to me if we don't continue pushing to the upside. I do forecast more upside, but we do need to have a bit of a breather. We know we're never going to go straight vertical. It's quite rare. Obviously, if we are on the daily scale, hopefully this chart does reload. There we are. It's rare that we get occasions like this. Where's my drawing tool? Okay, it's very rare that we just get occasions like this where we just continuously blast to the upside. They do occur, but then once we do have that explosive move, which is what I think this is the commencement of that explosive move, we will then consolidate for quite some time before then deciding if we're continuing to the upside or moving to the downside. So right now, my thought process is we will continue moving to the upside with short stops along the way, but they are going to be quite short, especially once we do get that red money flow crossing to the green on the daily scale. I do believe we're going to see a little bit more upward price action. Then we're going to have a very big decision once we have this head and shoulders formation, if we do form. So guys, that's it. That's all I want to just sort of cover today. If you do have any questions, make sure you comment, leave me a comment below. I'll be happy to reply. Or if you have your own thoughts on what the price of Bitcoin will do, I'd love to sort of hear your insight because this is how we can all learn and feed off each other. If you like this content, please leave me a like, subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week for the next Bitcoin technical analysis video. Peace out.